Prince Harry has always been an interesting figure, a royal who chose to walk the unconventional path. He's the prince who has been loved, scrutinized, and even admired while still being criticized for the same qualities. But in recent years, his story has taken a dramatic turn, and at the heart of it lies the memory of his mother, Princess Diana. For decades, her legacy has remained untouchable, a mix of glamour, heartbreak, and the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. But now, Harry is stepping forward to break the silence on truths that have simmered beneath the surface for so long. These revelations are as personal as they are astonishing. They offer us a glimpse into the hidden struggles of a son, a prince, and a man determined to honor his mother's legacy. Diana wasn't just a royal figure. She was a global icon, revered for her compassion and her ability to connect with people in a way that transcended class and culture. She was a woman whose presence could change the atmosphere of a room, someone who seemed to understand the power of human connection in a way that few others did. Yet behind her radiant smile was a woman trapped in a gilded cage, facing immense pressure from both the institution she represented and the unyielding gaze of the media. Diana was a person who gave her heart to charities, spent her time with the sick, the oppressed, and those left behind by society. And still, no matter how much she did, no matter how much she cared, it was never enough for the public who adored her one moment and vilified her the next. For Harry, Diana wasn't the people's princess. She was Mum. She was the person who knelt to his level to hug him, and who fiercely loved him despite the challenges of royal life. But that love was cut short in the most devastating way. When Harry lost his mother at just 12 years old, it wasn't just the world that mourned. It was a young boy whose entire foundation had been shaken. Diana's death wasn't a quiet passing. It was a public tragedy, magnified by the same media frenzy that had relentlessly pursued her during her life. The crash in Paris, in which Diana's life was taken too soon, was splashed across every front page, watched live by millions, and dissected by commentators who seemed to care more about the story than the life behind it. For Harry, it was the cruelest betrayal of all. It wasn't just the suddenness of the tragedy, it was the realization that the world that had cheered for Diana was now complicit in her pain. Harry has never forgotten that. For years he remained silent, carrying the weight of that loss and the anger that came with it. He spent most of his childhood struggling with grief, anger, and confusion, often turning to alcohol and reckless behavior to numb the pain. But silence, as he has now revealed, is something he refuses to carry any longer. The burden of keeping quiet, of pretending everything was fine, was too much to bear. In a recent series of candid interviews, Harry has opened up about the trauma of losing his mother and the role the media played in her death. He doesn't mince words. He recalls vividly how the paparazzi hounded Diana, following her every move, capturing every private moment until it ultimately spiraled out of control. Their constant pressure, their refusal to give her any space, wasn't just an invasion of privacy. It was a dangerous pursuit, one that ended in a life lost too soon. Her fatal car crash in Paris wasn't just an accident, Harry insists. It was a culmination of years of relentless pursuit by the press that refused to respect her boundaries. "I will not be bullied into silence," Harry stated, his voice filled with determination. "I've seen what happens when the media crosses the line. It costs my mother her life." These words aren't just a reflection of his pain, they're a call to action. For Harry, this isn't just about his past, it's about his future, and more importantly, the future of his family. But Harry's revelations don't stop at the media. He has also turned his gaze inward, calling out the very institution he was born into, the British monarchy. The royal family, with its centuries of traditions and its strict adherence to a stiff upper lip mentality, has often been criticized for prioritizing its image over the well-being of its members. And Harry has made it clear that Diana wasn't just failed by the press, she was also failed by the palace. His frustration with the palace system is deeply personal, and it's not a frustration born from a desire for revenge, but from the undeniable fact that his mother was treated unfairly, and the system was complicit in it. He recalls how his mother often felt isolated, unsupported, and left to fend for herself in a world that demanded perfection at every turn. The same traditions that upheld the grandeur of the monarchy also suffocated her individuality. She was expected to smile, to stand beside her husband, to be their perfect princess and mother, all while her mental health and personal life were in disarray. Harry believes that the system hasn't changed much, even years after Diana's passing. He has hinted that similar forces have tried to silence him, to suppress his voice when he's spoken out about issues close to his heart. But Harry is no longer willing to play by those rules. The past has shaped him, but it won't define him. It's the desire for freedom and authenticity that has led to Harry's recent choices, including his decision to step back from royal duties alongside his wife, Meghan Markle. Together, they've created an avalanche of criticism, often painted as rebels or ingrates turning their back on the crown. But for Harry, it's not about rebellion, it's about survival. He sees parallels between Diana's struggles and the treatment Meghan has endured, particularly from the media. He has watched his wife be relentlessly targeted by the same press that once tormented his mother, and that's not a connection he's willing to ignore. He knows too well the damage the press can do. And he refuses to let Meghan go through what his mother did. Stepping back was a way to protect his family, Harry says. But it was also a way to break the circle. He often speaks about the importance of rewriting the narrative, of living a life that Diana would be proud of. And while his actions have sparked controversy, they've also resonated with people around the world who see in him a man willing to stand up for what he believes in, no matter the cost. Harry's decision wasn't about escaping royal duty. It was about forging his own path, one that was true to his values and his understanding of what it means to be a family man. In his memoir, Spare, Harry goes deeper into his relationship with his mother and the impact her death has had on every aspect of his life. He shares stories that are both heartwarming and heartbreaking, painting a picture of Diana that feels deeply personal. He talks about her sense of humor, her warmth, and her fierce love for her children. But he also talked about her pain, the loneliness she endured, and the battles she fought behind closed doors. For Harry, keeping Diana's memory alive isn't just about looking back, it's about looking forward. As he puts it, "Everything I do is to honor her legacy, to show the world the Diana I knew, the real Diana." But as Harry's voice grows louder, so does the backlash. Critics accuse him of airing the royal family's dirty laundry, of being disloyal to the institution that gave him so much. Others question his motives, wondering if his decision to speak out is driven by a need for attention or revenge. Yet Harry remains steadfast. He doesn't see his actions as an attack on the monarchy, but as a necessary step towards healing and progress. He's not seeking approval from those who have criticized him for years. His goal is to change the system from within and bring attention to the flaws that have gone unaddressed for so long. So where does this leave us? Are we witnessing the rise of a royal revolutionary? Someone who is unafraid to challenge the status quo? Or is this simply a man, a son, trying to make sense of a loss that has defined his life? Perhaps it's both. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.